All right, everyone. Welcome to Weather Extra on your Wednesday morning. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Eric Burke. It's been a great stretch of June weather. June so far has not disappointed as far as the days we've had dating back to the weekend. We have been dealing with some of that haze. There's a little bit of haze out there as well today, just due to some of that lingering Canadian wildfire smoke. I don't think it's as bad as what we saw over the weekend and maybe Monday, Tuesday of this week. But today, it will be nice until the afternoon. We have to reintroduce the chance for rain showers and storms. Not for everyone, though. This is mainly going to favor areas towards Sand Mountain, portions of northeast Alabama, and locations south of the Tennessee River. So if you're out in the shoals, I don't think you have any chance of seeing rain or storms today. So that's just something we're continuing to watch, and we'll do so for the rest of the afternoon. Temperatures are already warming up pretty quickly. We're mostly sunny, maybe becoming partly cloudy. But I just want to look back and let you know, 4 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 days we went without rain or storms. The last time we had a 4-day stretch without any precipitation, that was the end of April. So our great stretch of weather ends, but even today, not everyone will see rainfall. A lot of people actually now starting to say, I wouldn't mind a little rain for the garden or maybe your lawn. Well, we've got a lot of rain to talk about as we go into the weekend, and terrible timing for that, but that's what Mother Nature is giving us. So today, high of 87. Overnight tonight, we'll see increasing cloud cover, low temperatures, probably upper 60s, low 70s. Tomorrow, models trending a lot drier, actually. I think we'll see some storms popping up, but they should actually stay to our west into parts of Mississippi. High of 87 again, but tomorrow you'll definitely start to feel that humidity creeping in. And then by Friday, we'll actually have a heat index on Friday in the mid to upper 90s. So our first real taste of that nasty summertime heat and humidity, it's coming Friday before the storms start to develop. When you're that hot and humid, you could get some pretty strong storms going, and that's what we're forecasting for Friday afternoon and evening, and then potentially carrying over into the weekend. Let's check some of our Fly HSV Delta cams on this Wednesday morning. Just a little bit of haze. Visibility is pretty good, though. Some of you seeing more sunshine than others. For example, we go out to our East Limestone camera, and there's a little bit more of that cumulus deck starting to kind of pop up a little bit, and that's going to continue to happen. Look at the temperature, though. It's already 80 out there in Athens here. Donna, good morning to you. Appreciate your loyal viewership of Weather Extra as always. Hurricane Center was watching that yellow X. It's basically off the Atlantic coast of Florida near the Jacksonville area, and it's just a center of low pressure. They donated, put it as an X. It's just that red L that you see on your weather surface maps, but just kind of a messy center of low pressure. They were saying there was a 10% chance of cyclone development, potentially as it tracked off the coast of Georgia into the Carolinas. Now they're just saying it's not happening, but they'll continue to watch that low. They don't just give up on it, as it could potentially circle around a high and go back out into the Atlantic, potentially into the Gulf. We'll be watching that. But this yellow X, or the center of low pressure, however you want to refer to it on this graphic, the yellow X, is actually the reason that we have those isolated to widely scattered shower and storm chances today. Is that low is going to let storms to develop to our southeast, and they'll actually track to the northwest. All right, temperatures right now at 10:32, 81 in Pulaski, 79 Fayetteville, 79 in Scottsboro. Same score there down in Coleman. Coleman, good morning to you. High temperatures today, right around 87, 88 degrees. Warm, humid day. But even this morning, we were warm, but it wasn't awfully muggy. So it was actually kind of comfortable. Makes you almost want to go out and take the dogs for an extra long walk, or whatever your morning routine is now that the students are out of school. That's up to you. We do have a breeze today. Helps a little bit out of the southeast, about 5 to 10 miles per hour sustained. Occasional gusts through about sunset, probably 15 to 20 miles per hour. Now, these gusts aren't associated with any storms, just kind of the general gradient winds that we're dealing with here between that high and low pressure. Finally jumped in the pool over the weekend. That was the first time of the year. Great place to be today, especially with it not being terribly humid. You could sit out a little bit longer before you're just drenched in sweat. Temps mid to upper 80s. Watch your 48 weather app, though, as we go into the afternoon, and that's because we'll start tracking those pop-up showers and storms, mainly toward northeast Alabama and south of the river. A lot of you end up staying dry. You could actually go in and adjust the settings on that 48 weather app and it lets you know when lightning or heavy rain is detected in your area. Of course, any warnings or watches as they're issued too. But when you're doing things outside during the summer months, it's a great tool to have. It's on your phone, and hey, it is free for Apple and Android platforms. Ton of cool videos that we send you to in the morning, afternoon, and evening. Here's your rain and storm timeline for today, though. Looking at that sweet spot, hottest, most humid part of the day, late afternoon into the evening. Coverage will be pretty spotty at best, and we'll go through it now hour by hour. The banner on the graphic says storm chances ahead. It's really not for today, although we are tracking a few potential storms. It's not for tomorrow, but it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's going to be the most active period for us. And here's noon, starting to see some activity developing over Georgia, and this is kind of the opposite of where the storms typically generate, forming over Georgia, tracking off to the north and west. And there's the coverage. Greatest area of coverage today, east of I-65 towards Sand Mountain and south of the Tennessee River. I'm going to say that a couple more times just because some of you will say, well, you said storms and it never happened. It just might not rain or storm at your house today. Really not anticipating a threat of strong to severe storms today. Could see some gusty winds, some lightning, as well as pockets of heavy rainfall, but that's it. Tomorrow morning, increase in cloud cover, starting off in the upper 60s to low 70s. Tomorrow will be a more humid day. You'll feel it too. Going with that 20% chance of a pop-up shower or storm. Mainly tomorrow would be our western areas, so along and west of I-65 into northeast Mississippi. Going into Friday now, starting off most of the day dry, temperatures warming, the heat index in the mid to upper 90s. So if you're doing anything outside strenuous, make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Our body's not fully acclimated to that summer-like heat and humidity just yet. Now look what happens though as we go into late afternoon and evening. Big cluster of storms popping up now over portions of Tennessee, West Tennessee, and even a few scattered storms here. As that sweeps through, we'll likely see some storms that could become strong to severe on Friday. Potential for damaging straight-line wind gusts, could have the possibility of hail, on top of that heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning. So some outside things may see some interruptions Friday afternoon and evening. Big weekend in Guntersville with HydroFest. A lot of people camp out to spectate the events happening over the weekend. That's something to be aware of. We go into Saturday. Saturday looking like the wettest day of the three, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll have periods of potential showers in the morning, and then look how things just kind of blow up there as far as intense rainfall, maybe some strong to severe storms in the mix. I think it depends on how much rain we're actively seeing. This could just be a widespread heavy rain event for us on Saturday, but we'll include the mention of rain and storms for now. Looks like that wraps up into Saturday evening. Sunday now is trending just a little bit drier. Maybe some sprinkles out there for early Sunday morning. As we go into the afternoon and evening, showers, maybe a few pop-up storms could be hit and miss. So we'll keep your Sunday rain and storm potential at 50% for the time being. I know you say a lot of times, oh, 50%. Anyone could say that. It could or it couldn't rain or storm, but that's more based on coverage, not uncertainty with the forecast there. Heavy rain. On top of the threat for strong to severe storms, if you factor in the rain Friday, Saturday, all the way through Sunday night, we're looking at half an inch to potentially an inch and a half of rainfall. Now, any slower moving storms, or if we just get that widespread rain event on Saturday, these numbers would likely be a lot higher, maybe 2 to 3 inches of rain. So we are watching that potential for flooding as we go through the weekend too. Here's your weekend. By the numbers, 83 on Saturday, 82 on Sunday. Temperature's kind of irrelevant here in this forecast just because it's mainly based on how much rain or storms we see. If we do see the widespread rain potential on Saturday, well, that's going to limit our severe storm threat. That's good, but it will probably knock down our high temperatures into the upper 70s. Sunday, if we're drier, we might be in the 85, 86 range there, but we'll keep the forecast as is for now. We'll have a much better grasp on your rain and storm timeline as we go through tonight into tomorrow, Friday, of course, but you want an early look at your weekend, and that's why I show these graphics for you based on what we're forecasting right now. Here's what's happening across the southeast. Showed you that yellow X, center of low pressure there off the coast of Jacksonville. Well, the storms are now starting to pop up over portions of central Alabama, Georgia, into South Carolina, and look how they're moving from the southeast to the northwest. And we usually don't see a setup like this, but that's what we're dealing with today. And then a big line of rain and storms out there pushing through parts of the Midwest toward the Great Lakes. For tonight, partly, maybe even mostly cloudy. Warm, muggy start. You'll notice the humidity when you step out tomorrow morning. It's not that July-August muggy factor, but it will feel more uncomfortable. As we go through tomorrow, temperatures warming into the mid-upper 80s. Heat index probably around 90 for most of the day on Thursday. Chance for those pop-up showers and storms tomorrow, favoring more northwest Alabama and northeast Mississippi than everywhere else. And then we go to your extended forecast, and it kind of just lays it all out for you. So for today, showers and storms mainly towards Sand Mountain, areas south of the Tennessee River. Because of where those storms are coming from, they should wrap up after sunset. Overnight 68. Increase in clouds tomorrow. Partly mostly cloudy, heat index around 90. Chance of pop-up storms to the west. We go into Friday. Heat index now mid, maybe upper 90s before those storms start to pop up. Chance of strong to severe storms Friday afternoon, evening. Concerns of damaging wind gusts, potential for hail, heavy rain, frequent lightning. And then still some questions with the weekend. Do we see that big swath of rain on Saturday, lowering our threat of strong storms? Or do we see more isolated showers and then a potential for strong to severe storms? That's what we're watching into Sunday. It is trending drier for the time being. We'll keep it at the 50%, and then even this active pattern continues as we go into next work week 2. That is the week leading up to Father's Day weekend. So that's going to do it for me. Your weather extra. Of course, Tennessee Valley Living coming up at 11 a.m., and I'll be on your newscast at noon with Gina Benitez. So enjoy the day. Watch the radar and your 48 weather app for those storms popping up to the northeast and south of the Tennessee River later on this afternoon. Things shouldn't be too strong, too severe in nature, and maybe some heavy rain and some lightning. So have a good Wednesday. We are halfway through the work week, and that is important. So thanks for your time as always. Have a good one.